പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട കുട്ടികൾ, ടീച്ചേഴ്സ് എല്ലാവർക്കും നമസ്കാരം. പൊട്ടൻഷ്യ ടു 2026 ക്യാമ്പിൽ നിങ്ങൾ പൊട്ടൻഷ്യൽ മനസ്സിലാക്കാൻ ഒരു ചെറിയ ഇനീഷ്യേറ്റീവ്, ഒരു ചെറിയ റിമൈൻഡറാണ്. ഈ ഫേസ് നിങ്ങളുടെ ജീവിതത്തിൽ വളരെ ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻറ്റ് ഫേസാണ്. പിന്നെ ഇപ്പോൾ യു മൈറ്റ് നോട്ട് റിയലൈസ്, ബട്ട് ഇറ്റ്സ് എ വെരി ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻറ്റ് ഫേസ് ഓഫ് യുവർ ലൈഫ്. Student life is not just about marks. It's not about the examinations. It is about the friends, it's about the memories, it's about the learnings and the mistakes that happen in this phase of your life. Marks ellavarum marunu pogum, okay, rank marunu pogum, but everyday padicha lessons it will remain with you the entire life. So I just want to, enjoy this phase, learn as much as you can, ask questions, be curious, ask why to everything. Just don't be hesitant. A lot of us are hesitant of asking questions. And, but try to ask, why is this happening? Why is that happening? Then only you'll get answers. If you're not asking questions, you will always be like, okay, this doubt it will remain unclear, right, your entire life. So just be curious and learn. Have this how do I say, be curious. This is what I want to say. Always be like, I want to learn this. You might be thinking that you are very good students, I have topped the class, but your competition is not just with the class. Your competition is with the outside world. There are a lot of students who are coming first in other classes as well, right? So ella vida ashamsakal. That is all I want to say, and nanni namaskaram.
മാമിനോടുള്ള ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ, ഒരു IAS ആവാൻ എത്ര ടൈം എടുത്തു, അതിൻ്റെ പ്രിപ്പറേഷൻസ്?
Okay. So I started preparing in 2020. So it took almost 2 years for me to prepare and clear this examination.
What made you to inspire to become IAS officer?
So I was working in the private sector before, and I always had this dream, you guys, when I was a student, I always wanted to become an IAS officer. I never knew that we have to give UPSC examination or this sort of thing, but I just knew at the back of my mind that I want to become. But then I wanted to have I wanted to earn also. So I did BTech, and I sat for the campus placement, and I was working in Bangalore as a data analyst. So during COVID time especially, that time I realized that I don't want to do this for my entire life. I don't want to sit at the in the desktop and work for the entire life. So I thought that I'll give one chance. Then I resigned, I started preparing, and this is how I started my preparation. And especially the thing is, during COVID time, right, a lot of newspapers were covering articles this IAS officer did this sort of initiative, helping people during COVID time. So that was the main thing that came into my mind. Okay, so this is what I want to do in my life. So that prompted me to give the examination.
What was the most hardest thing you overcame in your journey to being an IAS officer?
The most hardest thing would be believing in oneself. So when I started preparing, I thought it's okay, I might be able to clear. But when I started giving the mock examinations, that time I was not scoring well. So picking yourself up every day and telling that you will be able to do it, that was the hardest thing, I would say, for me.
What inspired you to become an IAS officer?
As I told, the inspiration was serving people. Especially as I told, during COVID time, I got to know that this, but especially, so I am from Uttar Pradesh. A lot of officers from Uttar Pradesh were doing really good work, which for helping the people. That is what really inspired me.
What are the study plan or program you have done?
So when I started preparing, I had no plan as such, because I was very confused at how to start. Then I started looking at a lot of topper stock. There were a lot of topper stock available on the internet. I went through a lot of them, and then I got to know, okay, this is how a plan should be made. So I made yearly plan, monthly plan, daily plan, and this is how I studied. So the plan varies student to student. It is not like, the plan I make for myself will be helpful for you. And as of now, what I feel is, you all are very small students. You all want to become IAS officers. That is really nice. But right now, you should focus more upon, your personality development. Camps like this really help you evolve your personality. It's good that you all are really interested, and it's good to start from the very beginning. But the personality development is a very important aspect of this examination, is what I feel, and it would be, and camps like this would be really helping you.
Good morning, ma'am. I have a doubt. How did your parents help to IAS officer?
Okay, good morning. My parents' support was very crucial for me. When I decided of, resigning from my job and started preparing for this examination, no one was, really interested, and they were like, why are you leaving, a decent career for, this examination? Why are you leaving, a decent career for this examination? You won't have any income. People are not getting jobs, and you are the one, leaving job. So earlier they were not very open to this idea, but they supported me a lot, my family and my grandparents.
Good morning, ma'am. What is the main motto you want to give to children, like the key to be an IAS?
So what I would say is, key to being IAS officer, I don't know what is the key to being an IAS officer, but a key to being a good student and a good human being would be to learn every day and to become a better version of yourself every day. So this is what I have, been. Like when I was a kid in my school, my principal used to, ask us to repeat one quote every day. That every day, in every way, I am becoming better and better. So when I was a child, I never understood the meaning of it. Like we used to say this thing, but but our teacher used to say that, the things that you say to yourself every day, they get, ingrained in your mind. In your subconscious mind, it is always there. So this thing really stuck with me, that, whatever you are doing today, you should be, a better person the other day, or you should be doing better in studies and sports, and whatever you are doing, you should be a better person.
Is it hard work or smart plans to become a IAS officer? What is important?
I think it's both, because there's a lot of syllabus is quite huge for this examination. So along with hard work, you need to be a bit smart in studying as well. That what things to study, what things to not study, which books to refer, which books to not refer.
Who was the biggest supporter for your preparations? Who encouraged you the most?
Okay. So my biggest supporter, my family is there, but my college friend, Diksha, she is a very big supporter of me. Like, there were days when I used to cry and say that, it's not happening, it's not gonna happen. Especially before the mains examination, I did not score well in my GS paper 1. So, I started crying a lot, and I was like, I called her up and I was like, I won't be able to do. So my friend and my brother, these two are my, big supporters. Whenever I used to feel low, I used to call them up, and they used to, and my friend was not preparing at all for the examination. I must mention, like, she's a corporate person. She is doing her, job as a software engineer. But she was the one, okay, you give me your, answer copy. I will go through it. She did not know anything about history, geography, polity, anything. But she was the one, who just said, no, you have written good answers, you will do well. You just try once again. And like these two are the people who are my biggest supporters, I would say. And I'm glad to have them in my life.
Hello, ma'am. Good morning. And which is the best advice you can give to someone who like to become a IAS officer?
What class you are in?
I'm studying 9th standard.
9th standard. So the advice I would want to give you is, be thorough with your studies. Whatever you are studying as of now, try to build your foundation very, good. Build a good foundation, because that would be really helping you. Because a lot of times, you know, you will hear toppers saying that, you know, start studying class 6 to 12 NCRT. So if you are, you know, thorough with your foundation, you would take very less time, you know, in studying this particular part, you know, these NCRT especially. So this is what I want to say, like, you know, be thorough with your foundation, build a
you,
good
ma'am.
foundation.
Thank you.
I have heard that UPSC interviews are very tough. So, what was your experience from the interview?
Even I had the same, you know, thing in my mind that UPSC interview is very tough. I know it's tough, but it is not like how people say, right? Everything under the sun is ours. Because a lot of times you'll be like, okay, we see a lot of YouTube videos, right, about the mock interviews that, you know, they'll asking this question, how will I be able to answer? I don't know this. So it is not the case. You have to fill a detailed application form, and in and around that only, you know, the questions are asked. So for me, I was mostly asked questions around my DAF, like, you know, regarding the job, my job, you know, whatever my previous experience was, the company I had worked. So everything was related to that only. It was nothing, you know, out of the box that was answered. Obviously, the questions they put to us, it is, you know, those are really good questions. You have to think a lot, but then nothing is out of the box. This is what like my personal experiences.
Hi, ma'am. How are you?
I'm good. Hi. How are you?
So I have a doubt.
Hmm.
Which university you choose to study to become an IAS officer?
So I started preparing during COVID time, and like the only option available to me was online classes. So that time I checked, you know, which classes are better. Like, you know, there are some institutes that give only live classes, but I started preparing when I was doing my job also. So I wanted the recorded classes also. So that time only, like one of the famous academies like Vision IS is there in Delhi. They were providing, you know, recorded classes and, you know, flexible timing. So I chose Vision IS.
Do you had any inspiration from childhood?
Okay. As such, I don't have any person. Was very much inspired by, to be very honest. But like for inspiration, I would look up to one person. So there's, you know, all of you know former Indian cricket captain Mahendra Singh Dhoni. I really, you know, looked up to him because of, you know, his nature and the way he, you know, he used to be very calm and cool on the field, and it really inspired me.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good
Have
morning.
you ever felt like giving up this study halfway, and how did you overcome that?
Multiple times I felt like, you know, every other day I would feel that. It's not like that, you know, one day I'll be feeling it's okay, you know, I'll be able to do. And so, like, I felt this multiple times, you know, there were days at a stretch where I would feel that I won't be able to do. So that is the main, you know, thing. You have to pick yourself up every day, and you have to tell that, you know, you will be able to do it. It's okay, one day at a time. Don't think about the result. Focus upon, you know, just focus on today's day. Whatever you are studying, you should be able to study, complete your target.
Madam, how many fees you give to achieve an IAS officer?
Okay, so the academy I studied in, they took around, I guess, 80,000 rupees for the foundation course. It was because an online class. But what I want to tell all of you that, you know, to be very honest, you don't need an academy to, you know, clear this examination. I know foundation is very important. There's a thing that I took online classes because I did not know anyone who was preparing. None of my college friends or, you know, college people were preparing. And that time, you know, like it was COVID time, no one was really interested in, you know, no one told actually ki, you know, that they are preparing. So I just thought that, you know, coaching would be a big source of help for me. But that is the biggest mistake that I did. In my first attempt, I only studied from my, you know, the coaching material that was provided to me. That is when I did not clear prelims, that is when I realized it is not enough. So coaching can only help you build the foundation. You are the ones who, you know, will have to really put on a lot of effort to, you know, study, to think about, you know, what materials you want to refer to and how you want to study. The coaching won't be telling you all these things.
Morning, ma'am.
Good
You
morning.
said you were having a job before, right? So how did you cope up with your studies at that time?
So during my job, I was not preparing for this examination. I resigned. Like during the last 2 months, it was a overlap. but I was not preparing actually. I just, skimmed through a lot of YouTube videos when I was preparing, just to know that, if I really want to enter into this thing, what is, this examination really about. But I never prepared.
Ma'am, any books or magazines helped you most to become an IAS officer?
I had a very limited time, so I did not really refer to any extra magazine or book. I just went through the the material that I had.
Good morning, ma'am. Which is a subject we have to cover to be an IAS officer?
My optional subject you're asking?
Which is the subject we have to more cover to be an IAS officer? I mean, which subject we have to more focus to be an IAS officer?
There is no subject as such that you have to focus more. It's when I was a kid, I always used to think that we need to study history a lot, but that was a misconception. Like, this is what I understood. Like, you have to give equal importance to all the subjects that are there, so that your foundation is strong. It's not like you just study history, you just study geography, you will be done. You need to study civics as well. You need to study your physics, chemistry, maths, everything in an equal number.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
What are the challenges you have faced in IAS career at the present time?
As I mentioned, the challenge for me was only, motivating myself. Like, so the challenge, motivating myself would be like, when you want to really give up, then what is the one thing that is helping you? So I never, after a point of time, I never really thought about the result. Like, I know we say that it is very easy to say that, don't think about the result, focus upon, one day at a time. But but when I was feeling, low, I used to think so because that was, because, we tend to do that, right? We tend to think, okay, we'll be able to clear this examination or not. So the one thing that really helped me was discipline. Get up every day, have a particular to-do list, do whatever is there in your to-do list, study whatever is there in your to-do list, and just like be done with that day. This is what my thought process was.
And how did you overcome it when you had?
That is what I'm telling, right? Like, the only thing that made me overcome was disciplined approach. Getting up every day, having a to-do list, studying whatever is there, giving my test, giving my examination, and trying to becoming, a better in studies, better, like, so suppose today I'm scoring, 110 marks in a particular examination. Tomorrow, maybe not, 130, but I should be scoring 110 plus. Like, even if there is increase in 2 marks, that would be, that would make me happy.
ഇപ്പോൾ ഈ +1 ഹ്യൂമാനിറ്റീസ് എടുത്ത സ്റ്റുഡൻസിന് UPSC എക്സാം ക്രാക്ക് ചെയ്യാൻ കൂടുതൽ സിമ്പിൾ ആയിരിക്കും, അതോ ഇപ്പം ഏത് ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റ് എടുത്താലും UPSC എക്സാം എല്ലാവർക്കും സെയിം ലെവൽ തന്നെ ആയിരിക്കുമോ?
It's not like if you study humanities in your +1 or then only you will be able to clear. You can see in my batch, in all the batches, it's not just the humanities students. There are engineers, there are doctors, there are architects, there are students who have done medicine, and a lot of students are there. It's not so it will really help you, I would feel, because your base is really strong, so you can choose optional accordingly. But it's not like you have to choose only humanities in +1 and prepare for this examination.
How much time do you spend a day for studying?
Per day, you are asking?
Yeah.
This questions, this question a lot of people used to ask me, that how much you used to study. So on an average, I would say 8 hours, but it is not right to say that I used to study every day 8 hours. There were days when I did not feel like studying. So I have studied for like 4 hours also. I have taken a day off also. So it depends upon the person actually, for how much time you want, you can study, you can put in effort, you do, but it requires, a continuous amount of effort every day. You cannot be like, I'm studying for 3 months and then 1 month I am taking off. You can take 1 month off, but you need to be, in touch with your studies, in touch with your preparation, at least revise.
Actually, I want to become a surgeon, and I still want to become an IAS officer. And what's your opinion? And that's my first question. And the second one is, I heard that Delhi has the best IAS institutions.
So regarding your first question, you want to become a surgeon and then a civil servant, right? That's, like, a lot of people do that. A lot of people after studying, you know, MBBS, BDS, they want to appear for the UPSC examination, and it is completely fine. Like, because, you know, as an IAS officer, you can work in the health field as well. So, you know, your expertise would be very much, you know, helpful for that particular department. And regarding your second question, Delhi is the hub. That myth has already been broken. I did not go to Delhi and study. A lot of, you know, people who are right now clearing the examination, they are studying on their own, or, you know, there are places in Kerala, especially. I have seen, you know, I was assistant collector in Trivandrum. I saw Trivandrum has become a, you know, hub for, you know, UPSC coaching centers. So it's not like Delhi is the only place to study, because people have already, you know, since like long back, people are going there and studying. So that is why that myth is there, but it is not really true.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good
The
morning.
path is to become an ISO officer is not an easy way. What are the challenges and sacrifice that you have made to become an IAS officer?
See, I know everyone, all of you feel that, you know, this examination is very big and all. Like, I also used to feel the same when I was a child. I also used to think that, you know, it is a very tough, I agree it is a tough examination, but it is not like you cannot do it. The only thing that helps you is, you know, to be disciplined in life. You need to, you know, a lot of things that you do on a daily basis, you know, like, just the only thing that will help you is, you know, being disciplined in life. The you know, getting up every day, going through the same books, going through the same material, studying every day. We all don't like studying, right?
Good morning, ma'am. Is there any shortcut to be an IAS officer? Before the society want us to be an IAS officer in a short period, can you suggest any short period?
As such, there's no short period. Like, you know, you have to, you know, there's 1 year for this examination. You know, you have to spend 1 year for giving the examination, and at least 1 year is required for preparing. This is what I feel.
Thank you.
There's no shortcut as such.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
From where did you write the exam? Is it in Kerala?
No, I am from Uttar Pradesh. I wrote the examination from my hometown, Lucknow only.
How did you get at IAS in Kerala?
Basically, IS is not just, you know, IS is an all India examination, right? So you have to, based upon, you know, your rank, based upon your preferences, we have to fill preferences that, you know, this zone you want, and based upon the zone, you have to select the state also. So based upon my preference and my rank, I got Kerala Cadre.
You said that you prepare 2 years for UPSC examination. So what are the important things that can be done in early preparation for achieving UPSC examination?
I think the only thing that I did, I won't say right, but in my opinion, what I did right was I used to go through my answer copies every day. You know, whatever feedback I used to get from, you know, the coaching teachers, I used to really, you know, work upon it. It is not like, you know, I used to read it like 2-3 times, and then I used to, you know, try to be better, you know, try to work upon those that feedback. That is what helped me, I think.
So, which stream you choose in your higher studies?
As in class 11th, 12th?
Yes.
Okay. I was PCM student, physics, chemistry, maths, because I was very clear that I want to, you know, become an engineer. That time I was really clear. So that is why I chose PCM.
If you are still a student, would you be still interested in being an IAS officer?
Yes, because the kind of work that, you know, this helps, you know, this job provides us, I don't think so that, you know, any other job would provide us that opportunity. Okay, so the last thing I would want to say to all of you, you know, please study hard. And enjoy as well. You know, don't be after this rat race that, you know, I want to come first. It's good that you come first, but, you know, you should enjoy your studies. Try to enjoy, try to learn. Don't try to mug up things. You know, we all have this tendency that, okay, we'll mug up and, you know, then we'll write it in the examinations and then we forget. But if you, if it is there, if you study properly, it will be there with you for your, you know, entire lifetime. So that is the main goal that we want. We just don't want to excel, you know, by mugging up things. try to understand things and enjoy as much as possible, and all the very best.